Hi guys, my name is Sarah, otherwise known as Sarah Says Hi here on YouTube, and today we are making a Keto Sesame Cashew Brittle. You're not going to want to miss this, so come on back. And welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by nutstop.com. Thank you, Nutstop, for providing the nuts that are going to be used in this recipe today. Down below in the description box, there is a discount code for you. When you use my code, you will get 10% off of your order. Nutstop sells all kinds of wonderful nuts, nut flours, seeds, seed flours, gourmet foods, dried fruits. They do have chocolate covered nuts and other goodies, and they do have some sugar-free items available. So go ahead and check them out down below in the description box. So for our Keto Sesame Cashew Brittle, what we're going to need is butter, and this is 58 grams of butter or 3 ounces of butter. Next we have allulose, and this is 84 grams or 3 ounces. You can also use erythritol if you can't get a hold of allulose. I prefer allulose because I think it just tastes the most like real sugar. Just my preference. Don't use stevia because stevia does not work when you're trying to caramelize it. So like the pure, even though that does have stevia in it, that has erythritol as well. So don't use that one. You want just erythritol or just the allulose. I don't know as far as the other sweeteners, but we're just using allulose because I like it. And then we're going to have 1 cup of cashews. This is unsalted roasted cashews. You can use salted cashews if you have them. If you are using salted nuts, then make sure that your butter is unsalted. My butter is salted, so that's why I have the unsalted nuts. And then I have 5 tablespoons of sesame seeds, and these are just whole seeds. And then you need half a teaspoon of vanilla and just a pinch of baking soda. This is a little bit more than a pinch, but I'm literally going to pinch it out of the glass. The other thing that we need, or to get started, is we're going to get a baking sheet, and you need parchment paper on it. I don't think you have to. I don't think it's necessary to put parchment paper on there. But if you don't, then you need to grease the pan. And we're just going to use a small pan. This is the smallest one I have. So this is a 9 by 13 baking sheet. You can put it in a glass pan, that is fine too. But just remember that if you're going to put it directly on the pan, then you need to put some butter on it. I have my parchment paper on my pan, and we're going to go ahead and pour the cashews over it. And you want to spread it out evenly, like so. Okay, and then we're not going to put the sesame seeds on yet. This is actually going to go on last. The first part of the recipe, we're going to just use the butter and our sweetener. So we're going to hop on over to the stove, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So with our saucepan, we're going to go ahead and set it on medium-high heat. And we're going to go ahead and add our butter into the pan. And then once our butter is just a little bit more melted than this, I'm going to add in our sweetener. Okay, now I'm going to add in the sweetener. And we are going to let this start bubbling. You want to make sure that you're stirring it frequently, but we do want to get this bubbling, and we're looking for a dark tan color. Okay, it's just now starting to bubble a little bit, so we want that bubbling to continue. but just make sure that you're stirring it so it doesn't burn. And you can tell it's already changing colors right now. Okay, and we're looking for a darker tan than this. If you don't brown it enough, then it will be sticky like a caramel and it won't be hard. Okay, so I'm gonna let this brown just a little bit longer, maybe another 15, 20 seconds. It's getting pretty brown now. Okay, and then we are going to go ahead and throw in our vanilla. And a pinch of the baking powder. A little bit more than a pinch there. Okay, and we're gonna turn it off. Ooh. And you just wanna stir it, like I removed it from the heat, but I just wanna stir it until it's not bubbling anymore like that. Until it's not foaming, actually. It is very dark in color. Oh my gosh. And I forgot to flip the camera around so I can't see. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh, we made this really dark. It's really dark. This does not look like enough. Oh my goodness, this is not enough. So I'm just gonna kind of move the cashews into here, like towards 1/2 of the pan, because that was not enough mix. So I'm just trying to move the toffee. We may not need all of that sesame seeds. Sorry guys, this is like not as good as I thought it was gonna come out. We got a couple spots over here that could use some cashews. So I'm just moving them around to make sure that we get it. And then we're gonna go ahead and pour the sesame. We're not using 5 tablespoons anymore. Yeah, because then it'll be like way too much. I would say that I probably used about 2. You want to make sure it's nice and good. I would say that I probably used about 2, maybe 2.5 tablespoons. Okay. And we're just going to let it cool now completely for an hour. And so this is going to serve 8 servings. And I apologize. When I edit the video, I'll make sure that I do say, I'll do a voiceover or whatever I have to do to say that we're only using 2 tablespoons of the sesame seeds. Yeah, because if you put more on there, it's just going to be like way too much. Anyhow, so this serves 8. It smells amazing. So you can either just let it sit here for an hour and harden, or you could put it in the freezer to kind of hurry it up along. I think I'm just gonna let it sit out for an hour. So I'll be back and we will taste it. The brittle has now cooled for an hour. Since we didn't use all of the sesame seed, we only used about 2 tablespoons. The new macros on this is going to be 16 total carbs, 4 grams of net carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 14 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein, and 157 calories. We're going to chop this up. Since I said it was supposed to serve 8, I'm gonna try to chop this up into 8 servings, the best that I can. Okay, so that looks like about half. Okay, probably would have used a chef knife. This would have been better, but it's dirty right now. Okay, that one cut a little better. Whoops. Okay, so we got 4 pieces, and now we're gonna go into 8. Oh my gosh. It does look really beautiful, guys. It's It's beautiful. And I have tried to make a toffee before, the caramel for turtles, caramel turtles I made, and it was very soft. It didn't quite get to like the toffee or the more caramelly thickness. It was like too soft, I think. I just rolled this toffee up into a ball, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let me just show you guys so you can see how beautiful these are. It is beautiful, guys. Look at that. Oops. It is beautiful. Let me do my taste test here in front of the camera. Oh. It does have that crunch. I think I let the toffee get a little too brown. It does have a slight burnt taste to it, but I like it. I dig it. So for this recipe, I did modify it. It's a Frankenstein, what do they call it? Franken recipe, where I took 2 recipes and combined it and created it. So I did see a recipe where someone made this cashew and sesame brittle on Reddit. But when I was looking at the ingredient list, it didn't match. Like the amount of butter and stuff that they were putting in it, it didn't match. And actually with that recipe, they put 2/3 of a cup of the sweetener, and I thought that was just way too much. So then I found another recipe online, and that recipe didn't have sesame seeds in it. It was just the cashew brittle, and that one also used erythritol. It didn't use allulose. So I kind of just took the measurements of both and just figured it out, which is why I overestimated on those sesame seeds. So that's how this recipe came out. You guys got to see a recipe in the making. I'm very surprised in a way that this toffee came out because it really does have a little bit of that crunch, and it gets stuck in your teeth like you would expect toffee to. I can't stop eating it. The recipe for this will be in the description box down below. I'll probably end up posting it on my blog as well. Also, don't forget to check out down below in the description box for the discount code for Nutstop so you can order your nuts for this recipe and so much more. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe down below, and don't forget to hit that little bell icon, and that'll notify you every time that I've uploaded a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.